Today we are playing four color Cascade Ritual. This is a deck that was like a bit of a breakout deck for us last year. And the format changed a bunch. It's it's a deck that we kind of moved on from. But I think it's a good time to be circling back. Um, you missed it before. The idea is that the idea is that Shardless Agent is insane when the only thing you're going to cascade into is Birthing Ritual. You get to go Agent, put a ritual into play, and then you get to sack the agent immediately into ideally a powerful 4-drop. Magmatic Hellkite or Omnath. Hellkite is really, really nice, where it just like slows your opponent down is a big thing that you can start chaining into Solitudes and Omnaths and Quantum Riddlers. Um, Solitudes, Omnaths, Riddlers, and that's the big thing. Is Agent is just so crazy. We also used to play Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid Elf was really, really sick, where you could go Bloodbraid Elf, and then sometimes you'd hit an agent, and then you'd always hit a ritual, which was really cool. But one thing is the format is, it's a little bit faster now. It's more combo focused. And so I think instead of playing Bloodbraid Elf, it's a good time to be playing the Force of Negations. I think the first main deck copy of Endurance is really good, and in general, but also the endurances I think are more important than they used to be as well. One thing is like in the Ponza matchup, endurance being able to shuffle your lands and basics back into your deck makes it kind of tricky to lose unless they can like stick a Rest in Peace. And then of course there's a lot of Gorios at the moment too. But also one of like the premier combo decks of the format at the moment is Neoform. Neoform is kind of replacing Storm as like the spell-based combo deck that is like the dominant strategy, and this deck usually does really good against that one because you're just main decking a bunch of subtleties and Force of Negations compared to Storm, which can be kind of trickier. So I think that's a good news for the deck. This is a deck I wanted to try post Violent Outburst unban. I thought about playing some copies of Violent Outburst in the deck. Ultimately, I think you're just not that interested in a 3-mana instant speed Birthing Ritual that also gives your guys +1/+0, I guess. But one big problem when Violent Outburst was unbanned was literally every single deck is playing like 3 or 4 Vexing Bottles, and it was like people were like, "I do not want to lose to Living End again," and they didn't, and Living End is kind of fallen off a bit. And even though Brood Scale is pretty popular at the moment, and Brood Scale is playing a lot of Vexing Baubles, I don't think that that's enough to necessarily dissuade me from playing the deck. And you are playing Leyline Binding and Force of Negation to deal with Vexing Bubbles. So let's go and get in there. Remember that card testing very well. The nicest thing about it was that the nicest thing about Bantang was that it pitched all your cards. Javins with the 54 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So obviously love, this is kind of the nuts having ritual into agent ritual on the play. We'll see what our opponent's got for us. Okay, Belcher is kind of like the worst matchup. Okay, although this is not Belcher, thankfully. I guess this is some kind of merfolk. Do I call it nonsense? I do think I want to get a basic plane so that a Leyline Binding can maybe get me out of a Harbinger. Now this does mean I'm probably not gonna cast the Hellkite on turn 4. Yeah, it could be spirits. Okay, my opponent has picked up their Aether Vial to 1. Then they've played a second Sink, this time untapped. And they're kicking a Tideshaper. And they're targeting my Zagoth Triome. Okay. That's fine. I guess I can't get basic mountain. Oh, I see. Oh, I also can't get my. Oh, sorry, I need to get my Stomping Ground off this. Okay, I guess we're just gonna be. Because we have to get Temple Garden. Now, if my agent resolves here, we should be fine. And if they subtlety the agent, then I have the forest. One issue may be Flare of Denial. All right, resolved. Let's see if we can hit a 4-drop here. They violate a 1-drop in response to my ritual triggers for a Mind Spring Merfolk. A Merfolk That only this is a card that only Merfolk players could be excited for. I draw a copy of Force of Negation off my Omnath ETB, and then I don't really find anything here. Not super interested in sacking the Omnath anyways, I guess. How was Fing Fing Fu when you pulled it from the Cyber Ruby deck? It was like it never once was right to grab and seemed like completely unnecessary. As you could probably expect of a 4-drop that's only good if you have a lot of resources and you have a and you have to untap with. I guess maybe Fing Fing Fu would be good sometimes when you like have Ruby and you could like Ruby plus play the Wildfire. We aren't excited for it. It's just one of our best options on SCG. Yeah, I know it's the best y'all got. I understand it's the best you got, and I'm sorry that that's the case. I you deserve better. All right, we're down to 10. Then we are back up. We up. I don't have any counter spells to counter creatures, so maybe better to target a sink here. Yeah, the underwater set surely will have playable modern Merfolk. I threw together Cub Shifted Trophied. Okay, interesting, because I was working on it last night, and I thought the idea didn't have that many legs. Because when you sack your Earthbent lands to Scapeshift, like they come back after the Scapeshift resolves, which I thought was a big problem. I don't know how to look at that. Oh, sorry. Okay, I got the attack off. I need to attack. So yeah, I did not. The fact you trophied is really cool. I was also kind of looking at like bossing Say, like earthbending a bunch of lands, maybe like a slower build. Maybe that doesn't make as much sense as doing something like this. But an exciting deck to trophy with. Underwater set. Yeah, there's like a new like there's a new setting that's coming out next year that's like a submerged world. Okay, we're gonna hopefully need to find hopefully we find Solitude here. We do find Solitude. I'm gonna sack the Omnath since I got backup Omnath here. Am I dead to another 5 to yeah, not dead to another lord, dead to 2 more lords, I guess. Okay, do I want to cash in this Hellkite for this Omnath now? I guess it's okay. We get the card. We have the Omnath already in play. Okay, nice. So Leyline Binding. So it seems like I should probably just save the Leyline Binding to target a Lord. Ahmed with the 71 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Closing in on 6 years following the stream. Time to fly. Hell yeah, it does. Like the years are already more than halfway through the year. So I guess I want to ask if they still come back on Escape Shifted Trigger Valkyrie. Yeah, but that's not as good as if they came back before. I think I had to save the binding. So like it's still certainly functional, but just not as good as I would like it to be. I guess I won't have Subtlety Hardcast plus binding up anyways. I think I should still just have the Subtlety Hardcast up. And I'm gonna attack with both here. Yeah, so I never really escape shift with the earthbending, so impressed with Leyline letting you cub a fetch land on turn 2. Interesting. I'll say that like the thing I'm most interested in is the cub fetching stuff. So if that didn't come up, I'm a little bit bummed about it, but I appreciate the feedback. It's like it's to me it's a kind of a big bummer it didn't come up, but all right, I think I'm gonna Soul to the Mindspring Merfolk. Okay, then I think we will also Hellkite. I'm really liking the one of endurance so that you just do not run out of action. You just get to cycle it all through. My heart misses these beans and these shells with the Octopus Friend. Yeah, that deck was so sick. Uh, we haven't played mono blue Eldrazi with Elder Deep Fiend in a while. That was always a deck I thought was like okay, maybe just never really makes that much sense to play anymore. It's always a fun deck. What deck do you miss in Modern, chat? Spike, did you buy the pajamas and hat for ad, or did you just like Geppetto in bed? Of course. Do you not? Is that's not the standard sleepwear for you guys? So I should have waited for my land until I played the Omnath, although I don't think that we are really in the ability to lose territory of this game. Thoughts on Starfield Vocalist? I think it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I would probably play Elish Norn instead. Like the fact that you can like warp it and then sack it to ritual doesn't seem to matter very much because it if you sack it you don't really get the effect. I kind of do want to get my endurance, although just having the flyers is also kind of unbeatable. I mean, I can't lose. Let's just go to game 3. Thanks, opponent. All right, I'm going to bring in 3 Rough Tumble over, I think, 3 Force of Negation. I don't think they're that likely to play Vexing Baubles because they've got a bunch of 0 mana stuff. Let's play Mystical Dispute against the Merfolk deck. Maybe -2 Hellkites. Is there a different card that's better than Hellkite, I wonder? We didn't really see, like, we saw Cavern. If they have Cavern and Muted Vault, Charmaw might be better than Hellkite. I think I'm going to go ahead and operate under that assumption. I don't think we need that many copies. I think I do want to keep in the first Endurance, though not always necessary. Why do you prefer Zagoth instead of Indatha? I don't know. I was thinking about that this morning. Zagoth over Indatha. And my brain was like so trudgy, sludgy, and I could not remember why I went this direction. And I remember that there was a reason, and I remember that there was really 2 very small decision points either way, and I'm just like, I can't remember. And I just today I decided to trust my past self and just play the mana base I had before, but I also added a basic mounting because of the Ponza matchup. Hard to mulligan Agent. It is the best card in the deck. Yeah, we are going down a little bit on 4 drops, which may actually be a big issue with this exact hand of like wanting to Agent into a 4 drop here. We'll see. Yeah, I know you can't ritual the Agent into the Charmaw. But they also have plenty of basics, too. I think I'm going to Surveil this turn. Okay, I'm going to keep the Subtlety. We are kind of weak to Harbinger, so like it may have been ill-advised. Although I think I'm going to go... Oh, you know what? Sorry, I should have played the Heath. Well, I guess not. No, sorry. This is fine, because I can Subtlety a Harbinger this turn, and then I can just get basic Forest, and then cast 2 agents. Do I want to Subtlety this? I kind of think I'm Subtletying anything. They have Consign. It kind of seems like they do, yeah. I think that's a good read. I think I'm still just going to play an Agent and take my 2 for 1. Comment, I like to play 1 Superior Spider-Man depending on the day, some compensation crossroad. So, I know there was already some comments on this, right? I think that tech is fine. I think both cards are fine. Although I didn't really like Aang that much when I tested it. I like Spider-Man a little bit more. That being said, I don't believe this is the format for it. Like this is the format to be like just main decking, like maxing out on Force of Negations and having like a lower curve. I think. I do not believe this is a format for just like random, like grindy 4 and 5 drops. Maybe it's shifting more that way, but like there was like the Pro Tour definitely was not was not that. And so I think I feel good about wait, they flared sack the Lord? Oh boy. Go ahead, take your take your 2 cards and your 2 counters. Oh wait, it's 1 card? No, so it's 2 cards. It's okay, blue draw X and then put 1 counter. It's not X counters. I did think it was X counters, but I thought that the no, I knew the cost here. Okay, so looks like they have another counter spell up here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take a 2 for 1. It sink into stupor. Yikes. I guess if they put a counter on this, I want to be able to double block the Tide Shaper. Thanks again, Uzur Heights for the 4 months. Yeah, I thought it was X counters, and I still wasn't that excited about this card. Am I still liking the Badger Combo deck? Yeah, I do like it a lot. I saw a list that top 8 of the challenge last week that was playing Nature's Rhythm over Nissa and was playing Eladamri. And I thought that was kind of interesting tech I wanted to try. You play Land Ritual Warp Reeler Drill too. I won't have I guess I'm just gonna activate this for 1. I won't have I'll have one too many cards in my hand, right? After I draw for turn. So if I cast the Rough Tumble, I kill my agent, which isn't good, and then they activate this and they put a counter here. So they're gonna try to draw Flare of Denial off their 1 card from Mindspring Merfolk. Good job. One Omnath, please. Sorry I missed the beginning of the stream. I ask why I decided to play this deck. Now, what's the reasoning? There's a lot of different reasons, but like I've been wanting to play this deck for a long time. Like since the shakeup with Flage and Violent Outburst. But when they unbanned Violent Outburst, everyone was playing Infinity Vexing Baubles, and so the deck was just not. It just wasn't time. And even though Brood Scale's on the upswing, there are less Vexing Baubles. But not only are there less Vexing Baubles, there's also more Neoform. So like maybe this is our small window before Vexing Baubles come back in a big way. But this deck is also very good against Neoform with all the pitch cards. And I think this deck is good against Prowess and Boros and Affinity still, which is still very popular. I think with all of the endurances, I'm excited for the Aspergorios matchup, but I haven't played the matchup yet. And I also think that like there's a lot of Eldrazi right now, and despite not being able to play Consign, the 8 dragons post board is usually a really good plan against the Eldrazi decks. So I do think just overall the deck is doing a lot of things that I'm wanting to be doing in the format at the moment. Yeah, maybe it was better to sack the agent, but the 2/2 was kind of valuable. But then obviously you could keep the Warped Riddler, but then once you have this going, you rarely run out of action. Timeout. Are we facing Merfolk? Yeah, there's some people who played Modern for fun. Think you're locked in on Church for Dallas or am I open? It's in what? It's 5 weeks away, 4 weeks away? It must be 5 weeks. I'm never locked in for a deck this far out, but I expect that's what I'll be playing. I might play Badger Bowl combo. Against the Oblink, I was playing Elstorm in the main back then. Against aggro decks, I was playing 1 base. I mean, yeah. I think it's okay to be playing those big stuff sometimes. I just don't think this is the time for it. I guess I'll just take a card. Poor Merfolk player, like, okay, does my 1/1 Flash Lord do anything against the Rough Tumble? No. Oh, damn it. Okay. Resolves. Resolves. I think I keep back up on that. I'm gonna sack this one probably. Is there even a good option for a fair mid-range deck right now? It feels like the closest thing is playing Goryo's, where you still have the option for unfair combo. It's a little early for ban talk, maybe. Okay, my opponent's playing Kira. I think I'll mulligan this other draw against Kira. It's a little early for ban talk. Does that mean Lucia the Helix pick? Yeah, it's two famous actors in the pick. Resemblance to real people is entirely coincidental. Which of these two decks are fair? Boros Synergy, Devoted to your combo. Boros Synergy, and it's like, so the whole fair thing, you know, it's like the word fair when I'm talking about it in the context of describing Magic the Gathering decks is always a fair deck is aggro mid-range aggro mid-range control, and then unfair is combo ramp. Combo ramp is unfair, and then fair is and fair is aggro mid-range control. And this is just the idea of describing decks in this way is to just help you in your own categorization of like talking about how these two types of things are smashing into each other, and it usually kind of devolves a little bit. I think that this conversation is usually goes, but I think Boros Synergy is unfair, Spike. I think that it's unfair. I think they might kill the planes if I get planes here, because it's like the one I chose. But if I get island, I think I want to keep the island in the deck. Okay, they don't have a price of freedom. Nice. I do think I want to be mana efficient here. So it's like it's fine for you to hate a deck, but it's like it's never like a productive part of this conversation to be like, I think this deck is unfair because I hate it. You know, I hear you. I'm with you. So I have one more basic left in the deck. Do we think our opponent has a path effect? I think I just should warp a Riddler. They have the Citadel up, so it's not like we're playing around Discharge, but I could play around Solitude. If this deck is fair, as you say, Spike, why do I hate it so much? You want a fair mid-range deck? Try Ponza, maybe. Omnath? I'm not going to try to like F6 check them by responding to my Birthing Ritual triggers. To be fair, Ponce's Horseshoe deck. And this is this is exactly why this conversation is never productive. I honestly think it's awesome that this deck can be... Is it annoying to play against? Yeah, sometimes. I also think it's awesome that this is a deck that like is good in Modern. I think... I think it's fun when you can when you have a deck that's really good against it, and it's frustrating when you have a deck that's really bad against it. And that's Magic the Gathering sometimes. If like Ponza is controlled, not mid range. It is control, but control decks are also in the fair deck category. Priest of Titania at home. But we have Priest of Titania at home. Okay, whenever another elf you control enters, this gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Add X mana of any one color, X is this creature's power. I don't really think that exists as is. Add X mana of one color, X is this creature's power. I think, isn't that like a unique line of text? Like, just regardless of the elf stuff. Is there another 2 mana dork that adds mana equal to its power? I don't think so. There's a copy. Yeah, I know it exists at 3 mana. So our plan of this matchup is to have 4 endurances post-board. I am interested to see like what that dynamic is like. Everyone just wants fair black mid range survival. Me too. I is preaching to the choir for sure. All right, come on. Are you out of removal spells, opponent? Although I mean, I don't really know how they can be. Okay, I'm gonna go to game 2 here. Let's keep it moving. All right, so I'm gonna play endurances. I'm gonna play the 4th copy of Force of Negation. Solitudes and Subtleties are probably going away, and I think we can play Charmaws. They do have a decent amount of colorless lands, and also blowing up their utility lands is like a pretty reasonable plan. We have Binding, which is not very good in the deck. Is Force of Vigor better than Binding? It is like... This is kind of going to be hard to cast. Maybe we'll do a 2-2 split, but like forced to deal with Rest in Peace if they have... Are they going to have Rest? They're going to have High Noon. Well, I can see there. It feels like a 2 rituals in play. Missed the game. We could have taken another draw step, but they have the hard hand to mulligan. They have the double citadel plus the extra card a turn land, so it's just very difficult to run them out of removal at that point in the game. Solitude is a beater. I mean, it's not a very good beater, but it's an option. Yeah, they may play. I think they're gonna have High Noon, and they're gonna have Rest in Peace in for game 3. Like Rest in Peace is also like it is the card we're the most scared of. I don't hate Dispute. Yeah, you could maybe play Dispute. Okay, there was a Hobbit card that I thought was like very eye-catching. Perhaps is how I'll describe the card. I think I'm gonna get Elegant Parlor into Stomping Ground. Okay, drawing 2 of my basics naturally is not so ideal. That being said, we have 4 endurances in our deck right now to try to shuffle the basics back in, and they're on a mold of 3. Okay, so this card I thought was very interesting. Black X. Exile the top X cards of target opponent's library. You may play those cards this turn. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than its mana cost. That's a multi, so they multi 5, not 3. So yeah, that card is very interesting to me. I don't know that I'm necessarily evaluating it correctly or anything. Yeah, the recipe stops me from endurance looping, which again is like our main plan in the matchup. You want to play in a conference deck? I don't know. Yeah, my opponent's like, what? You're out of basics. But yeah, we just drew 2 of them. We don't have any basics to shuffle back in at the moment either, and I also cannot even cast any spell in my hand. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate this card, but it definitely reads very powerful to me, and it's definitely a card that I am intrigued by. Seems like you can't main deck that Hobbit card. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know how to evaluate this. We're gonna try to main deck it. We're gonna try to see if this card is good or at all. Yeah, like it doesn't feel like you need to play this for 1,000,000 mana. It feels like if you play this like even like X equals 2 and you hit 2 spells and you cast them for free, you know, it can be very, very good. Even if you're just desperate and you X equals 1, that can be very, very good. And so again, I'm not having the easiest time evaluating it, but um okay, they're just discharging to store energy. Discharge is pretty bad against me, I think. So I do see it endurance, but I don't have any basics in the graveyard. I guess I'm just gonna grab a Riddler. See, I don't know. I don't know that I can evaluate this yet. But I do think it is very interesting. And it's the kind of effect that people have a lot of snap opinions on usually. I guess I'm just gonna hold up Hardcast Force here. A lot of people will just have a snap opinion on it, but for me, it's the kind of card that's going to take me some time to evaluate. You know, it would be really nice if I just didn't show them an endurance this game. Seems more like a Delian Fell life gain control style shell with Black Green Necro. I mean, it sounds sick. We've talked a little bit about Wizard Staff. I don't think that card looks playable at all. It's sick. I can't really think of any application for it in Modern. It has the. It just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like there's a good thing to do with it, besides being the card being awesome. Okay, so we won game 2 without showing them endurance. The Charmaw seemed good too. I mean, I guess it's gonna be always good against an opponent stumbling. I think I'm keeping my sideboard plan. Make 2 clues on Tamio. Let's go. 3 mana, make 2 clues. Wizard Stuff a shot, double triggers and prowess. So does that seem better? Going play show off, play this equip, then you get double the triggers. Does that seem better than just casting Violent Urge and Mutagenic Growth? I don't really think so. I think it doesn't seem like it makes your deck faster. Dude, I've got no basics in this hand. It's awesome. It doesn't seem like that makes the deck better. So that's kind of where I'm at, I guess. It gives VV 4 instance of prowess counters openings. I mean that is sick. That is sick. I will say I always had a really hard time keeping VV alive when we were playing builds that were trying to cast VV. I think VV is probably the best thing to do with it. I'm going to go ahead and agree there. I think I just want this to die. So get Island. They got 6 cards in their hand. They did keep 7 this time. I think I'm getting Steam Vents here. If they cast a spell we want a Force of Negation, like a Legend of Roku, what blue card do you want to pitch here? Yeah, Staff Dreadhorde is something. I don't know. I'll work on it. We'll probably play a Dreadhorde Arcanist VV Staff deck that'll be bad. But don't worry, we'll play it. I guess I'm going to pitch Quantum Riddle. I guess I'll pitch Quantum Riddler here. I think I'm targeting the Sunken Citadel. Maybe I'm wrong about the endurance plan in the matchup, because maybe like so far they haven't been targeting my basics, they've been targeting my non-basics. think I'm still just going to cast Endurance this turn. They don't kill a few basic stunts, you win. I think it's a fine attitude to have, yeah. But maybe should have been the Citadel again there. Not a bad couple cards. I think I'm going to go sack Endurance, put Omnath in play, keep the Quantum Riddler and Warp. They're definitely supposed to be targeting basics more. I think they're misplaying. Well, I mean, are they? Because, like, I want them to target the basics actively, so are they misplaying, or they just know what's up? You don't remember Yoria? I remember hating Yorion. All right, we get 4 damage from the Omnath, so I have a lethal attack here now. Can cast the Riddler to see if they're dead here. Okay, 2-0. I think that they may just know that to play around Endurance post board, and they may just like be a little bit ahead of the curve. A beautiful hand. Let's keep. Any wizard wizard cyber suggestions for the Trudge matchup? The best thing you could probably do as Is It Wizards to help the Trudge matchup is become Grixis Wizards and play Fatal Push. Because the biggest issue is that your Lightning Bolts or Unholy Heats discharges are like blank against them, and there's kind of like no amount of sideboarding that can compensate for the fact that you really need your 1-mana removal to line up well against them. So consider becoming a Grixis Wizard instead of an Is It Wizard. So my opponent's on a mull to 5 here. We're on the play for round number 3. You know, I never mind when my opponent mulls to 5 and then thought seizes me. Baited with the 50 or 38 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Just guy win Wizards with Pending and Safari. You could. I think ending being sorcery speed is always pretty awkward in that archetype. It's not the biggest deal ever, but something I do dislike. I think that a lot of times players can be a little too thirsty to play Teferi Time Raveler when it's not really that good in your deck. I do think, although I do think Teferi is good at the format, so this is maybe an exception. They have Force of Despair probably in their hand here. I've just seen a lot of players very thirsty to play Teferi Time Raveler, but I do think it's a good time to play it. Kura with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Kura. Dothy Voidwalker is fine. I think it's really important I keep Force up for Necro next turn. Yeah, it's very good against Trudge as well. It's one of the best cards of the format against it, I think. So we may get our agent Force of Despair. We will not be able to Force of Negation because it's our turn. I guess let's promote this into just a 4-drop so we can try to be maybe Solitude the Voidwalker next turn, maybe get a Riddler. Didn't think we'll play Necroglyph this week. We played it on Monday and unfortunately had a bad challenge. I did like the deck a lot. We also played it a ton last week, so I don't know if we're going to play it anymore. We'll see. The week is young. We'll see where it takes us. All right, I think I'd like to be able to Subtlety a Bowmaster. I've been kind of itching to play mono black value Necro as well. So now they could have a subtlety off the Dothy Voidwalker. 3 mana in response for Force of Despair. Okay, well. Let's go ahead and gain 4 life. Or maybe 1 life. Hi, Spike, first time viewers wondering how your Lantern Control matchup is. You know, I see people, well, it's usually not you, Magical. I see people typing this in the chat almost every day. How's your Lantern Control matchup? I don't know where this meme comes from. I have no idea the history here. Opponent, they could have played Omnath and then played the land, but they already played their land. I have a they know I have subtlety in my hand, so I guess they're not gonna do that very often. Could insider information be played in a Lantern show? You could do whatever you want in Lantern, besides win, I think. I think everything is possible except just having a winning deck. So don't worry about it too much. You know, I told Esther about the chatter who wanted to trade yesterday. I had a new type of chatter. It's very rare that I experience a new type of chatter. But someone who wanted to just, I think, trade for my real life Tifa Lockharts. I don't own any copies of Tifa Lockhart, but just said I want to trade. And I thought it was very cute. and she was very confused. It took me a couple times explaining to let her know what had happened. Yeah, my trade binder is probably pretty embarrassing these days. I do miss going to F&M with the trade binder and like, you know, getting there like an hour early and doing some trades. That was always really fun. So they may be able to resolve a Necro. Oh, they're asking via Moto when they said no, they left the chat. Yeah, it's fine. They're looking for. Wait, they wanted a Magic on Tifa's. Okay, what is the price of Tifa on Magic Online? It must be less than $1. and it's not. And this isn't me like saying, oh, it's just $1. You don't have $1. You can trade for any bot. Any bot will have the value for you. It's not like it's not difficult to to set this up. I guess I'm just going to run out the Hellkite. They're down to 10, so Necro's getting, you know, less and less scary here. Guess I'm not sacking any of this stuff, though. Yeah, dude, Tifa Lockhart is less than 1 cent. Less than 1 cent, yet making such an impact over here at the Aspiring Spike stream. All right, the Bowmaster's gonna make it where I mean I could still Riddler if I wanted, I guess. I actually did I don't think it had anything to do with this chatter, but maybe subconsciously it did. I did actually like brew a little bit, or I was like, I wasn't brewing, but I was messing with some builds with Tifa last night, but it was because I keep being a little obsessed. I'm like a little obsessed with the Arena of Glory plus the warp, the 4-mana 4/4 that warps for 3, landfalls at double the power and toughness. I keep trying to figure out how to like Arena of Glory that card, and it's not really working. But some of those drafts had Tifa yesterday. But I wonder if the Tifa trader subconsciously influenced me. Okay, so I'm interested in these. The Hellkites seem pretty bad against their almost all swamp mana base. I think if I'm gonna go this low on creatures, I probably want at least second endurance so that I'm able to cycle stuff back through. I'm pretty low on my creature count, which I think is okay to go really low sometimes. Maybe I would even want a third copy of Endurance. Maybe it's better than the fourth copy of Subtlety. I think Subtlety is okay against them. Let's. I think 2 is going to be fine for like looping through our deck. Although I'm a little scared of Dothy Voidwalker. Harmonizer is crazy in standard. Yeah, it's like the card is good in standard, and then in modern you have like Explore, and you have Arena of Glory, and you have Fetch Lands, and it seems interesting. It seems interesting. So like every time I build a deck, I'm like, ooh, this deck's a lot worse than Trudge and Cub. Yeah, I can maybe play a Rough Tumble. It's true. Okay. I'm gonna keep. I think I have to put back the Force of Vigor, although this leaves me kind of defenseless for Necro. But it says low misclicked on a keep. Rough. Well, I think we may be 3-0. Okay, my opponent's got 7 cards in their hand. I think I don't warp the Riddler so I can play it post agent next turn if they don't discard the agent. Or like they are going to discard the agent, so it's not like I need to worry about them thoughts using the Riddler. Flow State really didn't do anything in Modern. I think I trophied a league with Flow State. Flow State is okay. I do think like Prowl should probably be playing the first copy. Dude, they hit land. maybe they just wanted to deal with me psychic damage. Maybe I want to evoke Subtlety here. It's kind of bad against Force of Despair, though. It's fine, probably. Okay, they put the Voidwalker on the bottom, which makes sense because they kept a 0 lander on the play. On accident. Do they have the Force of Despair? Seems like they do. Maybe they have Soul Spike? Get a Soul Spike. Either way, we're getting it at, a 3-for-1 or a 4-for-1. Okay, 3-for-1. So they pitch March. Now, this doesn't matter if they just draw land Necro, or if they just go land Necro. They've got 4 cards in their hand. They play the land. They do not have the Necro. Okay, I think I can answer a Necro and I can answer a creature, so I do think I should just chill here. I cited out all my double red cards. I'm glad we got a good game despite them keeping a 0 lander on accident on the play. Something you should do more often, chatters. They put the Bowmaster on the bottom. So they can't Fatal Push this without Revolt. They can't Force of Despair it, so they could pitch March maybe to deal with it. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of tough. Edict, I guess. Could they have Edict? Sure. So they got 2 cards in their hand. They're both spells. I think I'll keep that one on top. 8 with the 18 months. Welcome back. Glad you're still liking the stream. Yeah, I don't think I'm Force of Vigoring that. I question my opponent's decision to board that in. I guess I tapped incorrectly to maybe hit a binding. I think that's okay. Well, I guess it's not okay if they hit a Necro. Not doing so bad against Necro, I guess. I don't think I could have tapped better. Couldn't I have tapped? Oh, wait, sorry, I did have to. No, I could have. You're right. I could not have tapped better. I played a pro tour against a 4-color Omnath player one time, and they didn't speak English very well, like very very little, and twice in the game they tapped 4 mana for an Omnath that they tapped 4 mana for an Omnath that they couldn't cast, and it was very difficult to communicate that to them. And I don't know. I'm not really going anywhere with this. I just am reminded of that for some reason. It was fine. Then they were very nice. Where is he from? I'm not sure. He was very understanding once we got it there, but playing Magic against someone who doesn't share a language it is a very cool experience because you do speak a secret third language, the secret third language of Magic the Gathering. But sometimes it gets a little weird. Okay, we are 3-0. When was last seen 2 weeks ago playing Hammer Time. I wonder if that is what the life cycle for someone playing Hammer Time is. I've been kind of wanting to try it. Okay, they are still playing it. Cool. I've been kind of wanting to try it with Super Soldier Serum. A lot of people seem to be liking Leyline Axe plus Super Soldier Serum. I don't really know how I feel about it. Wow, turn 1 Pure Steel Paladin with Leyline Axe. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go Subtlety Agent. Super Soldier Serum, super strong. Yeah, it just kind of like defies all logic that 2 mana sorcery speed enchantment aura that requires a creature in play and at least 1 equipment, if not 2 equipment in play to be good is good. But I keep seeing people trophy with it, so I'm not like trying to discount the success people have been having, but it does surprise me. It's +2/+2, first strike vigilance. It becomes legendary, and then also how does that work? So like if you have two Midmites in play and you Super Soldier Serum one of them, it becomes legendary. Do all of your other Ornithopters die? And it says when it attacks or blocks, you attach any number of equipment you control to it. They don't die? Okay. That's good. Dude, my trophy predictor is bugging out right now. Okay, I guess you can't really see it. It's like, okay, you can't really see it, but it's like strobe lighting. It's very weird. All right, they put the Paladin back on top. So only if the other ones are legendary. Okay. So they put the Paladin on top, then they play their second land, and they keep whatever is on top there. I think I'm just gonna. Oh no, dude, I've got. Sorry, I couldn't have got the Parlor. This is the mountain. This is the Zagoth Triome advantage. Got to graveyard this. May cost us the game. Although we did surveillance and subtlety the other way. Okay. Can work with this. I think I'm okay if they have a 2/2 double striker. Yeah, I guess I should have got Hedge Maze the first time. So one of their cards is an Urza Saga. Yeah, I don't care a lot about this Midnight. Maybe I should, but I think I'd rather kill the Paladin here. Well, as soon as we draw a blue or green source, we're going to be in great shape. I only have 2 Force of Vigors. There's been like a big downtick in affinity. I'm not like feeling too bad about our chances against them. We can maybe play a Charmaw or 2. Charmaw may be better than Hellkite, I don't know. They've got 2 cards in their hand. We hit. Although they can make a Saga token, it's not like they're just doing nothing over there. Hellkites, Omnath. I think we're done to skateboard now. Whenever play locals versus affinity, it is miserable even with Force of Vigor and Charmaw. Interesting. So let's see if they've got the Super Soldier Serum. Okay. Maybe they don't have anything. They get a Shadow Spear. I'm dead to land Shadow Spear, I guess. I was also just dead to Shadow Spear off the Saga. Okay. They had the Super Soldier Serum. So down a game against Hammer. Definitely not too upset about that. Gonna play the Forces. Let me see their last build. 4 basic planes, 1 Ink Moth, 4 Sagas. Doesn't seem like the Charmals are super good. It feels like the Hellkites are probably a little bit better. Just being able to go Agent into them is probably pretty relevant. I think it's probably a matchup we can cut the Endurance. As far as Rough Tumble goes, it doesn't kill Ornithopter. It does kill Sentinel, Paladin, Stoneforge. Does not very good against necessarily any of these. It's like okay against like Sentinel into Stoneforge, I guess. I feel like Hammer has low-key been good this whole time. I was thinking that there was a window where Hammer was better, where like when I think when Affinity, Boros, Prowess were over half the metagame, I think Hammer was just kind of good against all those decks. Okay, so let's keep this. Put back the Subtlety. I don't think we can go to 5, and then obviously Force of Vigor is just insane against them. Solitude's good too. I guess I'll pitch the Birthing Ritual if I need to, just because the Agent is like 1 card combo. Think why the Reliquary Maverick deck has legs, or is the Eldrazi version just better? I mean, we didn't play much with the white build. We did Trophy with it. I do mostly think the Eldrazi version is better. I don't necessarily think either are super good at the moment, I suppose. Hammer needs to pay Spell Pierce / Dispel so doesn't pull the Wrath. Well, it doesn't the spell doesn't beat Wrath, but I hear you. Test of Talents is usually like the card I like for that effect. I guess I'm gonna Solitude the Stoneforge here. We kept a 1-lander. On a Mulda 6 on the play against Hammer, I kept 1 land, Force of Vigor, green card, Solitude, white card. I do it again every single day on a Mulda 6. And their draw is very good against mine. What the fuck? Dude, their draw is insane against mine. They might have said Safari. I feel like winning this game is going to be very tough, which we lose to Hammer. Maybe it's hard to be too upset. They do grab a Hammer, and then they play a Pure Steel Paladin. I can't resolve my Cascade. I am dead with nothing to play. Okay, tough game. Tough match. Guess we'll get a 4-1 prediction. They last seen playing Goryo's Vengeance. This was almost a month ago. I think I'm going to mulligan this. It's pretty close on the draw. I think I would keep on the play. I'll try this on 6. Maybe a kind of game where we just dump our hand of removal spells and naturally use Riddler to draw some cards. I'm gonna get red-white Surveil and the Zagoth Triome Binding next turn. What happened to Simic Ritual? Just bad into the top decks. I guess that's one. I mean, I don't think it's really ever been a super good deck, right? It's been a popular deck at some times, but I don't think it's ever been super good. I think that it has always been very bad against Boros Prowess, and then like not so much affinity because you can hate it out. And people just kind of like for a long time it seemed like people were playing the deck despite being really bad against Boros Prowess, and those are like the two most popular decks. And then I don't know. I guess I'm trying to say I don't really know when people play that deck because I never think it's been great. It was a deck we built on this tree, we played a lot of, and it's a deck that I think would be great if they banned something from Energy. It has one of the highest win rates in the meta right now, really? Oh, maybe I'm just totally wrong then. They playing Leo combo? Might just be normal Celestia Ritual. Yeah, maybe we should have saved the binding. Might draw binding, so which means I would not want to play the Hedge Maze first, did not draw the binding. MTG deck says it has a 57% win rate. Over how many matches? You want to link it? I'd like to take a look at the numbers there. Weird matchup spread this league. They grab a Haywire Might and they grab a Pride. I think you'll find people play just about anything in modern leagues, no matter how like there might be business right now. I guess I just super disagree because like it doesn't feel that way. It feels like this happens some days. It does feel like some days people play random stuff like this, but I feel like this is the exception and not the rule. I would love for that to be true. I just don't feel like it is true. That's change apparently. That's what I get for opening my mouth. It's above 50. Okay, I'll take a look. It's even on here? It's on here? Okay. I need to look at this site more often. So 52% over 113 matches. 36 against Boros Energy. 36 against... Wait, is it Metalcraft is the second? It's the second listed deck here? How is it Metalcraft the deck that has the highest sample size on this? That doesn't make sense. Is it Metalcraft lumped together with just normal affinity? I don't see normal affinity on this. So I'm assuming they're just lumping the two decks together, which is probably not correct. If I put Simic Ritual in the last 30 days, it's only 20 matches, and this is kind of reflecting what I'm saying. It's no one's playing it, but 35% in the last 20 days. Oh, the very small sample size. Yeah, that's I agree that the templating it that way is not great for. Okay, I do think this is probably a good matchup to keep an endurance in. Actually, I think the Hellkites are pretty bad, so maybe I am. I guess I want to play Rough Tumbles. Play Rough Tumbles, probably, and then try to Force of Vigor and Leyline Binding for Birthing Ritual. Play 3 Endurance to shuffle stuff back in. Endurance is a pretty bad blocker. I think this is a shuffle, like just recycle Solitude matchup though. Okay, keep this on the play. Good card. Spike, do you think the new Astrolabe would be good in Modern? There's a new Astrolabe? I'd love to see that. I think so far we're at about 8 cards from the new set, which I think are interesting for Modern, which is below average, but not the worst ever. Sometimes people will say, some people say there's a new Astrolabe and and then it's like a 3 mana like filter or something like that. Scry 2 instead of draw a card. So it's 1 mana artifact, enters, scries 2 instead of drawing a card, and it filters your mana. It's called Giant Rock. Okay, let me see if Scryfall has it. I don't see it in the spoilers. It's kind of weird that a 1 mana card is called Giant Rock. I don't know if I can stand for something like that. Oh, Giant's Boulder. Okay, so it's like a translation issue. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this card should be 1 mana, guys. I mean, this is the final nail in the coffin of all of the fools who say Scry 2 is worth a card. So you know what's worth a card? Scrying 2. It's not. It's not. I don't think this card will see play, no. Scry 2 is not a card. You know what Scry 2 is? It's Scry 2. It's just a different thing. It's not. It's okay that it's not the same thing as drawing a card, but it just isn't the same thing. It's not a giant rock. It's owned by a giant. It looks pretty freaking giant to me, bucko. It looks pretty big to me. Civ with the 73 months. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Is Scry 2 better than Surveil 1? Sometimes. Sometimes not. I guess we're going to be double binding this turn. Probably. Have we seen there for Waterfront Bouncer? Dude is ripped and he's a 1-1. That's because he's on Synthol. It's an open secret that that dude just pumps his guns full of oil. There's nothing in there, man. What number does scry number have to be before it's worth a card? There's no number of times you can scry that's equal to drawing a card, because when you scry, you aren't putting a card from your deck into your hand. It's just 2 different actions, you know? It's just 2 different actions. It's okay that it's 2 different actions. They just aren't. They aren't. It's apples and oranges, you know? It's something less. it's not. It's just not the same actions, and that's okay. Yeah, like 1 mana scry 15 would be great. It's still a different thing than drawing a card. Would a 4 mana 50/50 see play? What color? What's the casting cost? A 4 mana 50/50 you could arena is a lot better than 4 mana 50/50 you can't. But I think probably no matter what the casting cost is, unless it's like black maybe, I think it would see play. Halia. We got 2 energy. We got 1 surveil to grab here. Nah, lands are completely dead draws at a certain point in the game. Drawing a useless card at the same time can be... Yes, at some points when if you're top decking and you're scrying lands to the bottom is similar to drawing cards. That's a situation where that's the case, but it's not. But that's one possible board state. So like scry 4 in a game of limited at the end of the game is very different from Scry 4, even in limited at the beginning of the game. It's just okay that scrying is different from drawing cards, you know. And it's not good to compare them so much is my thesis. And that's not productive, and could some manlands be playable? Not in this deck, no. I don't. I just need to keep the domain for the binding. They did find a Bright Glass Gearhulk. You were running some Rumpus Emperor shitty mana, 4 mana, 50 to be played. Well, I mean, that card could be templed for Fnatic. Not that, and it wasn't. I don't know that was good. They play Walking Ballista and Haywire Might here. I guess I shouldn't have played my land because of Omnath. Whoops. Wow, I drew double. Dude, this is crazy. I drew double Rough Tumble. This is like the two best. This is some like the best two cards I've ever drawn. Like, like I don't know how to even describe this. Like, do you call this a double top deck? What do you even call that? Oh, sorry. I meant to. Okay, I guess I don't want anything here anyways. But I did mean to fetch before one of these resolve for 4 life. Maybe it's better to leave a Triumph in the deck to cycle. Oh, sorry. Maybe also the Riddler was better to grab there. It's okay. Cloudy, do you love a month? Thank you. Welcome back. Feel like a deck sommelier. It's also a thing for sweet experimentation. Of course. Deck sommelier. So I think it makes sense for them to let me have the Solitude back here. We'll probably start recycling our graveyard with endurances soon. I know they've got a Haywire Might and they've got a Ballista, so they can Haywire Might this binding and get Halia maybe. Instead, they play a 1/1 Ballista, which I find to be an interesting line. I guess they're maybe going to try to Cauldron it. Do I have another Ritual in the deck? I think I do, yeah. Yeah, there's about to be 6 total Birthing Rituals in play, which is high. It's a high amount. They're on Ballista Leo combo. I mean, they have Leo and they've got Ballista, so it would probably be a deck building mistake if they didn't also have Cauldron to combo with those two. Okay, I hit them 4, 7, all the way down to 18 life. I put 4 Birthing Ritual triggers on the stack. I will go ahead and psych. Yeah, I think I'll psych Omnath into Solitude here, so I can sack the Agent into an Omnath. Then let's go ahead and Solitude into Riddler. I don't think there's an Endurance there, but I think I'm okay. I have 2 more Ritual triggers. I think we'll find it. Okay, so let's go sack Agent into Endurance. Recycle everything. It's important to recycle, chatters. And put an Omnath back in play. And pass back. But can we get 7? That's on you. I've done my part. Let's go. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna not binding them so that we can maybe have all 8 Birthing Rituals in play. So silly. No, they kept the Haywire Might on top. Dude, if you keep Haywire Might on top, we can't have 8 Birthing Rituals in play. Are you even playing the game right now? Are you even playing the game? I mean, yeah, without the Hellkites in the deck, we just do a lot of wheel spinning, I guess. It's okay. The wheel spinning is fine because we just get to keep recycling everything. Think we're gonna be fine here, guys. You can still lose this? I don't I don't know that that's true. I guess I could lose my internet connection. Played for the unlikely win instead of 8 rich. I know, I'm really disappointed in them. Okay, okay, no more silliness. Locking in. Let's go to game 3. It really does seem like a matchup where you can reliably just get a ton of rituals in play and keep recycling everything. So I'm gonna keep with this plan. Drawing double rough tumble against a 4/4 was so funny there. Cutting force versus the ritual cauldron deck is maybe not what I do. The thing is, we just have Force of Vigor and we have Binding. I guess the Bindings are kind of taxed. Where does this deck come from? I built the first versions like a year ago, and it's kind of a breakout deck. It's a deck a lot of people are picking up and playing, and it's one that I think is kind of well positioned, so I wanted to play it with some updates. We'll keep this. Hopefully, Rough Tumble is going to be good against their draw. At least it'll do something. I'll keep that as a pitch card for Force of Vigor, I guess. All right, let's rough them up. Your card seems sweet in the Ephemerate Goryo's Neoform meta. Containment Priest. So Containment Priest is only so good against Gorios because they just play so much removal, but it is like lights out for Neoform. That's like I think it's one of the hardest cards in the format for them to beat, so certainly great there. Although sometimes too slow on the draw. So maybe I go Rough Tumble this turn into Hold Up Hardcast Subtlety next turn, and then maybe Warp Riddler. They rumble. They hit Halia, a Guide of Souls, and a Solitude, and then another rumble that they can't grab. They choose Guide of Souls. Then they Idyllic Grange their Guide of Souls, which does get it out of Rough and Tumble number 3 range. Not that that's in my hand. When an uncommon gets banned, you know they messed up in design. Yeah. I think in a lot of ways it's like more understandable, I think, when an uncommon gets banned. I think I'm just subtleting anything here. Because it's like I think a lot of times like the constructed team and the limited team work separately from each other. And like I feel like the Up the Beanstalk was very much limited brain design. So we draw fetch land, I can still Riddler. I think I just want to play the Omnath first here. Hello, you're cooked. And then I can't block the Guide of Souls with the Subtlety because they can grow it with the Grange off the flats, so we'll just attack for 3. I wish Priest did something against Living End. I don't know how much I like or dislike that, like, Goryo's Neoform Living End, like, the overlap in hate cards there is kind of small. Maybe it's a good thing. So they're not going to jump the Guide of Souls because that makes them lose Static Prison. They can jump the Ballista next turn. They can get extra counters on the Ballista. That was something I did like about this kind of build. So maybe against that, I just want to hardcast a Riddler. All right, so they're going to draw their card. I doubt they're going to give me Omnath back. They go down to 2 energy. What is this Celestine Energy deck for my opponent? Peaks my interest. This is a deck that I think I got second in the challenge with. It's playing Birthing Ritual, Gearhulk, Guide, Pride, but it's also trying to combo. If you Cauldron a Ballista onto a Leonardo, you win the game, and you also hold on. Combo Ballista onto Leonardo is infinite damage and I guess infinite life, and then Leo's also just kind of a reasonable threat in your Guide Pride deck. I don't know if I think this is a good deck at the moment, but it definitely felt good when we were playing it for the first time. I think I'll attack with the Subtlety. What if they'll forget to level up Ballista? Let's go ahead and Solitude their Guide. I think it's maybe Heliod. I was playing one copy of Heliod. Okay, I guess I'll play around that. Although they'll be able to get the Ballista in the yard for Cauldron, but they need Leo and Cauldron for that to work. Thanks, Logan, for the 32. Good luck hitting these rituals is crazy. I mean, it sees 7 cards, and I gotta, I know I went down on the Hellkites, but it's not like I'm that low. It's like I'm that low on stuff to grab with it. They said, was this a misclick? I feel like this was a misclick. Yeah, Oopsies has entered the chat. So I guess I need to Subtlety this. Although I could Endurance there, Graveyard, but I think I'd rather Subtlety and make sure I don't lose to the last card being Cauldron. Also, if I Subtlety, I get an extra card off the Riddler on my draw. Are there other split cards like Rough Tumble, HE, Cascade? There's Dead Gone. Fire Ice. Probably the end of the list of ones that are actually playable. All right, I think at this point we're just going to attack for 10 because now they've got... I guess they have a free block here. I mean, the luck of Ragent hitting Cascade. Oh, yeah, I agree. Hitting. Oh, the luck of hitting Ritual and Cascade. I see. Yeah, very lucky. Okay, so we 4-1 this league. We lost only to Hammer. Feels like we should play another.